Breaking news today. Ukraine is getting ready to hit Russia with an iron fist and Putin should be very worried. Rumors of a new counter-offensive against Russian invaders have led Ukraine's defense minister, Alexei Reznikov, to threaten to strike Russia with an iron fist on Friday. The Ukrainian official made the announcement during an online briefing, but did not go into specifics or give a timeline for when the new offensive would begin. As soon as God wills it, the weather cooperates, and a decision is made by commanders, we will do it, Reznikov said, adding that Ukraine is, to a high percentage, ready to launch new attacks. Reznikov reportedly made these comments about Western weapons being the iron fist in the new offensive during the briefing. The statements confirm reports from the past few weeks that Ukraine plans to redouble its efforts to drive back Russian forces and, possibly, to sever the land bridge connecting Crimea and the rest of Russia. Even though NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg stated this week that NATO countries have delivered nearly all of the combat vehicles promised to Ukraine, talk of a new counter-offensive persists. We've already sent over 98% of the armored vehicles we promised to Ukraine. Stoltenberg told reporters in Brussels, that means more than 1,550 armored vehicles, 230 tanks, and other equipment, including vast amounts of ammunition. More than 9 new armored brigades have been trained and equipped by us in Ukraine. According to him, this will give Ukraine a solid foundation on which to continue retaking occupied territory. The comments could imply that Kyiv is waiting for all promised combat vehicles to arrive in the country before launching a new assault, in addition to waiting for the weather and ground conditions to improve. The counter-offensive has not yet begun, but Ukrainian forces have been conducting trials in Kherson by repeatedly crossing the Dnipro River and setting up on the east bank. Tokmak, a small settlement between Melitopol and Zaporizhia, is occupied by Russian forces, and Ukrainian shells hit the town after Ukrainian forces successfully crossed the river. Both moves, says military analyst Sim Tak, point to a Ukrainian push into Crimea. By staking out territory on the eastern side of the Dnieper River, Ukraine would have a fighting chance of penetrating the land corridor connecting Crimea and the Donbass region. Tokmak could also provide an alternative route to southern territories currently under Russian occupation. Breaking news editor at 1945 is Jack Buckby, British-born writer, New York-based journalist, and counter-extremism expert. As a reporter covering the United Kingdom, Europe, and the United States, he seeks to understand the causes of and responses to left and right-wing radicalization and the policies of Western governments. His writings examine these topics and offer practical suggestions for healing our divided nation. In recent months, the fentanyl crisis has risen to the top of the political agenda. The Associated Press, AP, reports that the number of people dying from an opioid overdose in the United States has been rising steadily since the 1990s. The most up-to-date addition is fentanyl.